welcome back to my channel. It's Marlene. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am a little bit overdue in trying to keep up with my schedule of recording, but I wanted to make sure I got on today to record some content and talk about some things that I feel that are very, very important to us as women and something that I've been learning to listen to and tap into more for this year of 2024. Now, as it relates to my business, well, first of all, let's back up a little bit. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit subscribe. I have to remember to say that. And if you've watched the video and liked the content, please leave me a comment and please like the video as well. So now that that's out of the way, one of the things that I really wanted to talk about as it relates to 2024 is some, goals and things that I wanted to put together as it relates to my business and in my personal life. So for my business, the year 2024, I wanted it to be dedicated to awareness and visibility. And it was a little bit difficult to try to figure out how I was going to do that. So one of the things that I did was I started to watch and sign up for a lot of the free webinars and self-development seminars that were happening, and a lot of them have been virtual. And I have to tell you that although I've signed up for so many, some of them are only an hour or so long, some of them have been a few hours long, others have been days long. When I tell you my email had so many emails from webinar and conference confirmations, things that I've attended, follow-ups from the people who actually put the webinars, like who hosted them. So they've also follow up with you. And the reason why I bring that up is because I'm one that's big on, if you don't know how to do something, try to figure out a way to learn it. I'm an avid learner, and it's important to not think that you know everything and to tap out or tap into other people and resources that you feel will be able to help you. So in garnering my quest for awareness and visibility as it relates to my business, I wanted to see about signing up for different podcasts or radio shows, different social media happenings that were going on, or even attending some live events as it related to networking and meeting people. And I have been doing that, a lot this year. And one of the things that I had to be mindful of when I was trying to seek awareness and visibility for my brand is that I'm also in school. In addition to all the other things that I have going on, being in this dissertation sequence, of my doctoral journey has been very, very challenging, to say the least. So at the beginning of the year, I had maybe 3 trips planned. And after doing the traveling, which is something that I love because I was able to travel to New York for a leadership conference, I was able to travel to South Carolina for a speaking engagement, which has then helped me book, subsequent virtual um, virtual seminars, virtual speaking engagements. So that was a great trip. I was also able to travel to Jacksonville, Florida for another expo, which involved me speaking on stage. So I have been going out more and making myself visible and bringing more attention to my brand. But I had to kind of take a step back in the travel aspect of it, just because it takes a lot to travel. Although I was able to maneuver it, meaning I would travel more on the weekend, like, towards the end of the week, like a Thursday evening or Friday, and then I'd be back Saturday, the latest Sunday during the day sometime. So although I was able to get all of that done, it still was a little bit tricky to travel and try to get my schoolwork done, meet my deadlines for school, things like that. But I'm happy I did, because I was able to bring, awareness and make those connections so that the second half of the year, let's say around after springtime, most of everything I've been doing have been virtual as a result of the physical and in-person events that I attended at the beginning of the year. So that was one of my goals for, the business side, just to kind of keep my name out there, have people learn who I am, learn what I do, learn about my passion and my platform, so that once I'm done with school, that's not when I'd be trying to make these connections. I would have already met these people and kind of take off running, from there. The next thing, as it related to my personal, self-development, one of the things that I asked for myself was to try to figure out a way to learn to be even more self-aware, learn to tap into my female intuition, learn how to actually take time for myself or focus on the things that are of priority without feeling guilty or unaccomplished for not being able to complete all the other stuff. I know that was a mouthful, but that is something that I struggle with a lot. Although I have, gotten better in terms of gaining my confidence, keeping my confidence. I've been through a lot, as I'm sure so many women have, just people in general. And it's important to me to be able to show up authentically myself and to show up one when I want to, one how I want to, and if I want to. And that's always been a struggle for me because, and I can get into this in another video, but I'm normally the one that anytime anyone close to me is doing anything, sponsoring anything, hosting everything, I'm there to support because genuinely I am a supportive person. I come from a big family and it's important to me to show support, show up, right? Not just be there, but be there. Like that's why if I'm unable to go to something, I try my best now to just not go because I never want to show up and not be there, right? It's the worst thing when someone feels like they just have to do something and then when they show up, they're not really there. So I struggle with that a lot because I am busy. I do have a lot going on and everything else in my life is also busy. And the people that I care and love about have a lot going on and would love to have my support. And I would like to be there to support them as well. So I say that to say part of all of the self-development and personal outreach that I've been doing for myself, right? And learning to be more self-aware, take accountability, be okay with where I am. It involved signing up for a lot of this self-help stuff, so to speak, towards the year. And one of the things that's really been sticking out to me and I wanted to talk about is, my intuition. And not only my intuition, but female intuition altogether. I feel that women are innately intuitive creatures. I really feel we were born with that. Now, there is a fine line between knowing the difference between intuition and maybe identifying it as that versus something that you're afraid of, right? Are you being intuitive about this or are you in fear? Are you being intuitive about this or are you not necessarily planning or getting prepared as you should? What does this intuition mean? How do I tap into it? How do I, work it, right? And part of me growing and continuing to grow and to continue to build my confidence and continuing to learn to say no or whatever it is involves me tapping into that intuition and learning to decipher the difference when the intuition comes to me so that I can make better decisions. And this is what I mean by that. I'm the type of person that I don't live with regret. I told myself that, I prayed about that. I always said, whenever an important decision is, set to be made or needs to be made, I do my best to do all of my research, find out as much as I can, talk to people so that I can be well informed in making my decision. That way, whatever way I decide, I know I won't regret to the extent of saying, oh man, I wish I would have done it this way instead, or, I wish I would have taken more time to find out about it before I made the decision. Because from a grand scheme of things, the reason why I try to live my life without regret is because you can't go backwards. It doesn't matter what you do, what you say, you can't sleep and wake up and you're back in time. So because of that, I try to be very intentional in my decision making. I try to be very present in my decision making so that I know whatever happens, either it succeeds or it goes the way I planned, or it just serves as a stepping stone or lesson learned or life experience, so to speak, to help me make better decisions in the future. So in trying to build in my intuition, I'm learning that doing so really helps me, and not doing so makes me feel like, right? I'm not quite regretful of what happened, but it makes me feel like, hey, you got that sign, Marlene. You didn't listen. Because a lot of times in life, us women, we have that little naggy feeling, and not all intuition is bad. A lot of intuition sometimes is preparing you or allowing you to be prepared for what's to come. And I can't quite explain it, but that's what it is. So in an event where I might be leaving the house and randomly, let's say I'm not leaving in my car, I'm leaving in my husband's car. And his car, I know, doesn't have an umbrella, so to speak. The weather could be perfect. It doesn't matter. Something tells me, you know what, you need to go and get an umbrella and put it in the car just in case. Random. No bad weather. The forecast didn't say it was going to rain, or maybe the chance of rain was slight versus moderate. And on the times that I've gone back, because sometimes you know how it is. You leave your house, you don't want to come back. Especially if you've gotten everything, you got your bag, you got whatever it is that you're going to take with you. You don't want to like go and then come back and you're like, ah, it's no big deal. You'll deal with it, right? And in the event that I didn't go back and get an umbrella, guess what happened? It rained. Now, was that the end of the world? No. But who wants to get wet and like risk getting sick or getting your feet wet because you're in puddles or something? Because in South Florida, when it rains, you guys, it doesn't just rain, it pours. You'll have bright sunny sunshine outside, hot where you need AC and a fan, and then it turns into like a torrential downpour, sometimes with the sun, sometimes without the sun, to the point where you're like, where was all this moisture hiding? Where was it? So sometimes that happens. Or if that same nagging thing gets me, it's like, okay, Marlene, go back and take this package with you, because just in case, out of the blue, FedEx might come. That way you don't have to make an extra stop. You'll have it with you. By damn, if I don't take the package, FedEx comes, right? Or in the case with the umbrella, if I take the umbrella, then, oh, thank goodness I did, because look, it rained. How did I know that? I chalk all that up to intuition. And another thing I feel like my intuition has been helping me do is make decisions that are actually for me. This is what I mean. As a doctoral student, on top of everything else that I have going on, and this is going to sound like a broken record, you guys, it's a lot, and I'm busy, right? And certain events or certain things that go on in my life, I just can't not attend. So thank goodness, as it relates to parties for the children's friends, family members, things like that, between my husband, his brothers, my big son, Richard, if I really, really, really can't go, the kids are going, okay? Because one of the guys are going to take them. And sometimes if I feel like I need a mental break, then I kind of determine, okay, well, how long will I be there? How far away is it? How much prep time is involved? How much time to get back home? Like, I'm thinking about all this logistically in my head. Then I say, okay, I need the break, so I'm going to go. And the good thing about it is that my family and friends understand, so they know that if they don't see me, no one is really necessarily holding it against me. So sometimes my intuition will tell me, okay, it's okay. I know you don't want to disappoint whoever, but go ahead and stay, because while the kids are gone, you'll be able to accomplish ABC 1, 2, 3, XYZ. Great. And every time that I don't listen to my intuition and I push through, because that's that word, that's another thing us women do. We push through. When I don't listen to my intuition and I push through, I end up getting in trouble, y'all. Either something happens, I'm out longer than I anticipated, or I'm much more involved mentally than I thought I would be, right? Because remember, I'm going sometimes for this mental break, but sometimes going to events clogs up your mind even more. So I don't have that mental clarity. I don't have that break. So that when I do get home, I don't have the drive and the focus and the motivation and even the energy I need to continue what I needed to get done for school that day, right? Or something for the business. So another thing that might happen is, like I was saying, I might end up staying out too long or longer than I anticipated. But because I'm not, disappointing the children, disappointing my friends, disappointing my family, I'm the one stuck now with this assignment that's not done and this deadline that's not met. And all the people that I wanted to not disappoint can't help me. So it's something that, I'm going to get into this in another video too, but I'll just kind of preface it here by saying I'm learning that at the end of the day, and I know we have to keep saying this because we keep saying it and we don't listen. You have to listen to your intuition. Sometimes your intuition is not necessarily only to prevent bad things. Sometimes your intuition is to allow you, especially if you've been asking God for a sign, you've been asking the universe for wisdom, you've been asking for clarity and guidance. That intuition sometimes comes to you, and guys, we don't listen. And you have to listen because it's something that will propel you. It was something that'll help you make a decision that will help you get one step further to where it is that you're trying to be. So, not only can your intuition help you get out of trouble, your intuition can help you better fulfill whatever goals, dreams, and aspirations that you want to do. And one of the things that's really big for me this year, and I just haven't been able to shake it, was, earlier this year, we had an event that we had to attend. And in my brain, there was no way I could miss it. Even though I know people may have understood, but I put the pressure on myself to make sure I went because I hadn't been to so many other things. And something inside me just kept saying, you know what? No, don't go. Just stay. You're not prepared. You don't have everything you even need, for the event. You don't have time to go and buy what's needed for the event, right? So that you can present accordingly. I really was in this internal struggle because in my brain, there was no way I could miss this event. But literally in my life, there was no time the weeks leading up to the event to do everything that I needed to do to prep for the event. So that goes back to what I was saying. Sometimes when I think about if I'm going somewhere or not, I have to figure out logistically in my brain, how is this going to work, right? How much time do I need to prep? How much time will I be there? How much mental work am I going to have to do? How engaged will I have to be? Will I be able to get back on time? So all of this was playing in my mind as it came to this event. And it was like, you know what, Marlene, don't go. It's okay. People will understand. Then I'm like, well, I can't go. It's this person. What are they going to say? Okay, well, don't go. Because remember, the whole family is going to, this time it wasn't even only the kids that were going, the whole family would have been out. So I would have had a quiet house to myself to meet this already overdue deadline. But guess what I did? I went. And something negative kind of happened as a result of me going. And it's something that I haven't been able to shake because I feel like, and I know I put this pressure on myself, when you're someone that people look up to, rightly or wrongly, and mainly because I've always presented authentically myself, which is to be the stand-up woman, stand-up lady, stand-up niece, stand-up daughter, stand-up friend, stand-up whoever. It's hard when you really push yourself and it ends up being a mistake. And now your entire legacy or what people knew you or seemingly knew you to be or knew you as has now changed because of this one mistake. And I feel that I'm carrying that. I'm still carrying that. I've apologized. I've accepted responsibility, accepted accountability, didn't make any excuses. I just said, this is what happened. You're right. It won't happen again. That wasn't my intention. No if, and, but, maybe. No, I was wrong. It is. Even though it wasn't my intention, this is everything that happened or didn't happen leading up to that day. At the end of the day, I hurt someone that I care about, and there's nothing I can do about it outside of apologizing and giving space and giving grace to the situation. And I've just been carrying it all this time because, like I said, you're known to be this one person. And I guess, again, I probably shouldn't care so deeply about what everybody thinks about me, but but unfortunately, we're human and we do. So I feel like my entire legacy has been tainted because of this one mistake. So that's why, and as a matter of fact, I was talking to my husband about it this morning. And since that happened, I'm here to tell you, and sorry this video was so long just to get here. I'm here to tell you, since that happened, I do my darndest to listen to my intuition. It's better to be missed. It's better to be missed. Send your regards, send your well wishes, send all the good vibes, and not taint or mess up a relationship potentially, than show up unprepared, non-committal. Because at this point, when you're forcing yourself to do something because you're not, like your intuition, or you're not fully into it and your intuition is telling you something different, you're not showing up as you would if you were truly in the headspace of, I'm taking ownership of this. I said I would go. I said I would do it. I committed to it. So I'm going to do it right. And that's something everybody knows about me. I either show up 100% or I don't show up at all. And the one time I pushed myself and showed up how I was at that time, mentally, physically, emotionally, it backfired on me. And maybe as time goes on and I kind of forgive myself, I'll share a little bit more about specifically what happened, but it's been really, really difficult. So I'm in the space now that I'm learning to trust myself. I'm learning to trust my intuition. I'm learning that how I feel matter, because if I'm in the business of motivating women and helping them overcome obstacles and helping them to accomplish their dreams and goals, I have to start with myself. And I can't be as hard on myself for decisions I've made or how other people are going to feel about me after I've taken accountability, threw any excuses out the window, admitted my wrongdoing in it, and that's okay. So internally, I have to, and I'm in therapy, I have to tell my therapist about it. So she's been great in trying to help me get through that. But if we don't take anything else from this video, don't force yourself to do anything that you don't want to do, that maybe you committed to, but is no longer able to keep the commitment, something you're not sure of. Don't do what you're not ready for, because sometimes simply showing up and being there doesn't help, because in certain ways that you show up, you might be showing up in a way that's inauthentic and detrimental to the people that you're there to quote unquote support. So women, trust your intuition. I'll do a little bit of a deeper video on intuition on my podcast, where we can really break down what intuition is, the benefits of listening to your intuition. How do you tell the difference between intuition and maybe fear, or intuition and maybe taking the time to analyze and really cultivate your decisions, and what the pros and cons are of a decision. I'll really break that down on my podcast. I'll let you guys know when that is out. But that's what I found on my heart to share with you guys today. Listen to your intuition. Try not to doubt yourself. Be self-aware. Know when you're wrong. And even if it wasn't your intention or it wasn't your fault, the fact that somebody else is hurt over a decision you've made or an action that you took, you have to be accountable for that. You have to be self-aware enough to accept that. And then you give space and grace to the person that was on the receiving side of that hurt, and figure out a way to see if you can, forge a relationship moving forward. So that is all I have for you today. Well, not necessarily today, in this particular episode. And just continue to love yourself, listen to yourself, be proud of yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself, and listen to that intuition, guys. Like, listen, like even something as simple as, I'm not supposed to be having this ice cream because my dinner last night didn't digest how I should, and my belly feels kind of heavy. So if I have this ice cream, it may kind of mess me up. And your intuition is telling you don't eat the ice cream. Guys, girls, don't eat the ice cream because you're going to pay for it, right? So I know that that was kind of like a silly comparison, but just kind of listen to your intuition and take a step back, ask God to help you to discern the difference between him actually trying to teach you a lesson or him trying to give you intuition towards a decision that will make your life better, or him giving you intuition for a situation that will help prevent you from being hurt or getting into a bad situation. Just try to take a step back, meditate, pray, whatever you do, go touch the ground, right? Grounding is really big in 2024 so that you can become one with nature and one with yourself and be self-aware so that you can listen to that intuition and make good decisions that benefit you and not at the expense of severing or potentially hurting those that you love and care about, namely yourself. All righty. See you guys later. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Marlene DeRosso's YouTube channel. I will see you guys next time.